poppin', Rockstars? My name is MT, and congratulations, everybody! Sylvie just decapitated a lizard man keeper of the time and saved the entire multiverse from cosmic fascism. Hooray! If only it were that easy. Because spoiler alert, much like the time travel of Back to the Future, the timekeepers are a bunch of bullshit.
A bunch of bullshit?
Which of course has all of us Loki-loving nerds on DisneyPlus.com dazed and confused for a number of good reasons. But outside of the obvious big questions like who created the TVA and the timekeepers in the first place, one of the more intriguing questions for me personally is why did the puppet master behind the timekeepers bring Loki and Sylvie in front of their fake android presence in the first place? I mean, Loki even asked this question to their ugly lizard faces in episode 4. Like, why was that something that needed to be done? I mean, we already know that they're not gonna listen to these Lokis because their entire judicial system is a sham. Why not just prune these two troublemaking Loki as soon as they're found? Well, I think the answer to this lies in both previous episodes of Loki as well as the Marvel comics. So buckle up, gang, because we're about to hop onto the jet ski of speculation. I don't know what that means. Jet skis don't have seatbelts. I should go outside more. I think the simple answer as to why the Timekeeper Puppet Master wanted Loki and Sylvie to see these robotic representations of the Timekeepers is because they wanted Loki and Sylvie to believe in the grand TVA lie. It's all about the power of belief, and this ties back to the conversation between Mobius and Loki in episode 2 of the series. You know, when Loki is challenging Mobius's belief in the TVA and Mobius hits him with the reverse Uno by saying that the TVA is just as miraculously real as Loki and the entire existence of the mythical gods and enemies of Asgard. Mainly because, as Mobius says,
and it's real because I believe it's real.
This moment right here is a moment that I am absolutely confident will be referenced again, because this conversation is massive foreshadowing to exactly how the all-powerful TVA will probably be taken down by the end of the series. And why do I say this? Easy, because of a little something that I like to call, Loki Agent of Asgard number 17. Now, in this issue, we find Loki confronting the super ultra secret mythical gods worshipped by the Asgardian gods known as those who sit above in shadow, in their native dimension outside of the Marvel universe. And these are the gods that the Asgardians worshipped as the beings that created all of them. And we learn from the Ragnarok story from the Thor Disassembled comics that those who sit above in shadow feed off of the life force energy of all the dead Asgardians after the Ragnarok event, and that they have been purposely looping the Asgardians in a wheel of fate that ends in these Ragnaroks so they can feed on the Asgardian life forces pretty much forever. Those who sit above in shadow are straight up one of the most powerful forces in the entire Marvel hierarchy, and yet in this issue, Loki sends these all-powerful entities sprinting for the nearest exit sign with just his words. And how did Jotunheim's tiniest frost giant do this? By challenging their entire existences to their faces. Because comic Loki was like, wait a minute, if we, the Asgardian gods, only exist because humanity believes that we are real, and the Asgardians worship you guys as the guys that created them and believe that you are real, then did you guys create us or did we create you? To which those who sit above in shadow replied, la 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 la, we can't hear you, you, have a nice day, blah 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 blah, bye. Mainly because in that scenario, Loki was the last Asgardian left, so their entire existence sort of relied on whatever Loki believed. I believe that this moment from Loki Agents of Asgard number 17 has informed the entire existence of the TVA in this Loki series, with whoever is actually in charge of the TVA relying on the belief of their variant workforce to sustain them. But before I continue, I just want to give a huge thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for curious, creative folks, and Skillshare allows you to explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in creativity. Skillshare offers classes designed for real life, and you can learn and grow with short classes that fit any schedule, and each class is a combination of video lessons and a class project. And they have classes and topics that new Rockstars fans would really enjoy, like animation, film, music, and freelancing. One of their classes that really interests me is a class called Presentation Design for Smart People by MJ Trong, an industrial engineer at the Meyer Innovation Factory. I sometimes have to give presentations for work, and over the last year, I ended up doing some fun ones remotely for friends, so some expert advice on how to make them more interesting and effective sounds really cool to me. It's curated specifically for learning, meaning that there are no ads, and they're always launching new premium classes so that you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. The first 1,000 of our subscribers to click the link in the description will get 1 free month trial of Skillshare so that you can start exploring your creativity today. But anyways, this is because, like in the comics, there is immense power within the mind of the evolved beings of the MCU. And like the Ancient One notes in Doctor Strange 1, your mind can create your reality. But do you know where this fact is especially true? A little place called the quantum realm. Now, there is a common Loki theory on the internet that states that the entire TVA exists within the quantum realm. And if this is indeed the case, then the human mind has even more power here than anywhere else. Because think back to the time when Hank Pym pulled a Honey I Shrunk the Kids and myself to save you because Tinder is a terrible place for Janet Van Dyne and Ant-Man and the Wasp. Seemingly as a protection mechanism, Hank mentally creates a physical replica of his old house all around him. Like that house was actually physically there with him within the quantum realm because you could actually see the quantum realm doing its thing in the windows in the background. That is until Janet Van Dyne heals Hank's mind with her magic quantum powers by, touching his brain, touching his temples and being like, shh, baby, it's okay. Your wife's here. I'm right here, boo-boo. I'm right here. I don't know why I'm rubbing my own temples. It's because I'm so alone. And when she did that, the house went away. So if the TVA is composed of a bunch of variant minds within the quantum realm, then whoever is truly behind all of this could be using these minds to project the entire TVA itself. Hell, the human mind in the quantum realm even allowed Janet Van Dyne to possess Scott Lang for a good amount of time. This is why Renslayer immediately puts a hit out on Hunter B-15, claiming that she was compromised after talking to Sylvie. It's because Renslayer knows that if one TVA agent knows the truth of who they are, soon everybody in the TVA will know the truth. And you can't have a time variance authority if your variants don't believe or respect your authority.
Respect my authority!
This is why whoever created the Timekeeper androids wanted Loki and Sylvie to see them, because they wanted these two rebels to believe in the lie of their power, because doing so would give them even more power. Because, as we found out, after Loki is pruned, you don't die when you're pruned. Like, you get sent somewhere else that I believe to be the land of Limbo. In the comics, Limbo is a pocket dimension outside of time and space where everything that ever was and ever will be sort of exists all at once in a singular moment. This is probably why we see Mobius whipping that thing towards a great Sphinx in a TV spot for Disney Plus all the way back in May. That Sphinx seems mighty out of place if you ask me. And since we already see Mobius getting pruned, chances are he's probably landed in Limbo with the rest of everyone that's ever been pruned, or at the very least with the rest of all these Lokis that we see at the end of episode 4. Because I believe Mobius is a Loki, but we're not gonna get into that right now. By having this pocket dimension Limbo prison, whoever created the Keepers could keep all of these chaotic Loki into one boring, messed up place where they live out their immortal lives believing in the Timekeeper's authority, because they're the ones who set them there in the first place. And that is what I like to call controlled chaos. But that's basically it. I believe that the TVA exists because everybody at the TVA believes it exists. It's all about the belief of the mind, and the mind has a lot of power. And I strongly believe that we're going to learn more about the mind as phase 4 goes on, especially with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and the Eternals, as they are set to introduce the concept of the Unimind. But what do you guys think? Do you believe in my theory of belief? And do you think that these Lokis could actually be in Limbo? Talk nerdy to me below, my nerd babies. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. You can follow me at MasterTainment if you want to see me tweet some weird shit. But most importantly, please follow New Rockstars wherever we are, especially on YouTube. And when you do, make sure you hit that notification bell so you can get notifications whenever we upload a new video. Also, please support us at newrockstarsmerch.com because we have awesome shirts like this TVA shirt that I love. So go to newrockstarsmerch.com and make sure to get that latest Obsession shirt because it's not going to be around forever. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.